So let's talk today about how Remax can give you an advantage into doing your real estate broking business. We are talking about how you can join Remax, why you should join Remax, and why being part of Remax can benefit the overall way you do your real estate broking business. Just to give a brief introduction about Remax, Remax was started in 1973 in Denver, Colorado. We are talking of USA, and it was founded by Dave Nigger, the founder of the company. The interesting part about this is that it's the only real estate broking company still owned and operated by its original promoters. Now, when we talk of still owned and operated by its original promoters, the inherent values of the company still remain the same as to what they were founded on and what they are working on today. And they basically are as to how we can help the agents on ground do more real estate broking transactions. When we talk of Remax, Remax is the most successful real estate broking network in the history of real estate industry. Now we are talking of internationally, globally, across various decades and continents, various places where real estate broking organizations have been founded. Remax is the most successful network in the history of real estate broking industry. And that's what makes us really powerful as to how we can become a part of being of the real estate broking industry. Just to give a fact, Remax did house sales of more than $400 billion in the last financial year. Now when we talk of $400 billion house sales, we are talking of obviously properties which were transacted through Remax agents on a worldwide basis. And obviously the entire books means we don't account for the entire house sale transactions, but there is brokerage which got earned out of these properties transactions by Remax agents. And that's what the overall size of the whole business of Remax is doing today across the world. Apart from this, there's a book written on us, that's Everybody Wins. It basically talks about the stories and lessons behind Remax and how being part of Remax, the entire story of Remax has been covered from 1973, how we started from one single office and slowly moved on gradually to have more and more offices across various states of America, Canada, Europe, and obviously then certain parts of Africa and then South America. When we talk about Remax, Remax is the most recognized logo in real estate. And when we talk of most recognized logo in real estate, we have been noted across various organizations, across various surveys, research places, that Remax, the balloon logo that we are particularly proud of, is the most recognized logo in real estate across all segments of real estate, be it construction, be it brokerage, be it any organization that we are talking of. It's the balloon logo that actually catches the attention of every single person who tries to become a part of real estate. It's an icon for its industry. So just as when you see the swoosh, you probably think of a Nike, or when you see a three-pointed star, you think of Mercedes-Benz and the car industry. Or when you look at the M symbol and you look at McDonald's and the food and beverage industry. Similarly, when you see the balloon logo and a red, white, blue mark, you think of Remax, and Remax stands for real estate broking industry. So that's what makes us really proud of and becomes an icon in its industry. And as we talk about it, it's the only real estate broking company or only real estate company to feature in the book 50 companies that changed the world. Now when we talk of 50 companies that changed the world by Howard Rothman, across industries, across organizations that were covered in the past 2-3 centuries, Remax is the only real estate company, be it in terms of what I would call architecture, be it in terms of construction, be it in terms of what I would call structural engineers or anything that is associated with real estate. Remax is the only company that was featured in this particular book. And that's what makes us really proud of being part of Remax. Now when we talk of certain logos that we are particularly using, we are particularly proud of outstanding agents producing outstanding results, or maybe the real estate leaders, or maybe saying above the crowd. Now when we say outstanding agents produce outstanding results, we are particularly proud that more than 1 lakh agents associated with Remax today are doing more than 13 lakh transactions every year. And that is almost one agent producing 12 to 13 transactions, which is far higher than the industry which is able to do today in the real estate broking scenario. We are also particularly proud of our tagline, which says nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax. And that signifies that, okay, across the world, across all segments of real estate, nobody sells more real estate or helps sell more real estate than Remax. And that is what we are really proud of. Remax, what is the basic principle of Remax? A traditional scenario in real estate industry would be wherein a boss is going to keep the maximum commission and the agent is probably going to get lesser commission. At the same time, he is not motivated enough, he is probably working on a lesser salary, or he has what I would call limited access to training programs, or he is not being constantly monitored by his boss because he is not sure as to what work he is doing. Plus, overall, the commission that he makes is really limited. And when he makes very limited commission, the chances of him being motivated to do more transaction is lesser. Remax is an idea of how we can actually get more entrepreneurs to work together under one common platform, under one common banner, and together they are able to actually do more transactions. Here we have entrepreneurs as agents who are working together under one single roof, who would be the boss or the broker office owner, and then we have agents who are motivated as entrepreneurs, agents who don't need any kind of training, or because they are self-motivated, they would require lesser monitoring. Training, if at all, they get trained by the real estate broking company, that's Remax or the franchised office of Remax, and they typically are bringing in more inventory, which leads to more sales and then more profits. So let's understand what's the hierarchy of Remax. Remax LLC or Remax International is based out of Denver, Colorado. Remax India is based out of Delhi, Gurgaon. Remax MGM or Remax Mumbai Gujarat Maharashtra, we are based out of Ahmedabad and we handle the entire territories of Gujarat and Maharashtra. We are appointing different franchise offices in various parts of Gujarat and Maharashtra, and these franchise offices are appointing broker associates who are responsible for doing transactions on a day-to-day basis with the clients that they are interacting with. So it's a 5-level hierarchy wherein what we have is Remax Mumbai Gujarat Maharashtra, that's what we represent, and we are appointing these franchise offices who would have associates on ground doing transactions with various clients who would be responsible for doing transactions. When we look at the role of the broker office or the franchise office as what we are talking of, it's the one-stop solution or one-stop shop providing all real estate requirements of a client or an individual. So when we talk as a one-stop shop, we are talking of be it residential, commercial, land, lease, any kind of real estate broking requirements that they might be having, they are being covered under one single roof of the broker office, wherein different real estate agents who are broker associates are working under one single roof, and they are calling themselves as real estate broking professionals, doing or providing real estate solutions to their clients. It's a hub for an agent to grow and earn more through the system. Now when we call it as a hub for an agent to grow and earn more, we all understand that if we are working under one single roof in a real estate broking organization, you have buyers and sellers coming under one single roof. And when we have more buyers and more sellers coming under one single roof, the probability of doing a transaction or closing a transaction becomes really high, because you have more agents bringing in more inventory or maybe more leads or more buyers and more sellers who are ultimately able to close a transaction. And that's what we are talking about as to how we are exactly able to perform better whilst we work in a broking office with more agents. Also, it's a point of access for customers to access the Remax services. It's only through the broker office that a Remax customer is able to access or get access to what I would call real estate broking services. As I said, residential, commercial, land, lease, or any particular type of real estate service. It's only through the Remax franchise office that they are going to get the entire service being offered. Now, Remax follows the maximum commission model for its agents. Now, when we say the maximum commission model for its agents, say about 100 rupees of commission or 100% commission is earned by a Remax agent, then maximum commission is retained by the broker associate himself, which could be as less as maybe 50%, but it could go as high as 100%. And similarly, the franchise office or the broker owner would make anywhere between 0% to 50% in a transaction that each of his associates perform within his office. Now the idea is that the associate who is on ground is doing all the hard work, who is showing the property, who is meeting the client, who is probably finding out matching properties or matching listings, and accordingly ensuring closure of transaction, is the person who should get rewarded the most. And that's the broker associate. He gets rewarded almost up to 100% depending upon the model that he is working with within the broker office, and he gets particularly rewarded for that entire thing. So how does a broker owner earn? If he's going to make lesser money per transaction, how is he going to actually earn out of this entire arrangement? So an individual broker owner would be making lesser money from a single transaction, and an agent makes more money. But when we consider more and more number of agents joining the office, the total earning that the office will have keeps on increasing. And the idea is that we are creating an hub for agents to come and do transactions. You're creating an infrastructure or a place for real estate broking transactions to take place. It becomes a marketplace in the local vicinity for people to do transactions. What's the typical role of a broker owner? A broker owner is responsible for recruitment of more agents into his office. He wants to have as many more agents as possible because more agents bring in more inventory, more sales or more listings and more leads. That leads to what I would call ultimately the chances or probability of doing transaction improving, and that's his first primary responsibility: recruit more agents. He is responsible for monitoring and managing these agents and giving them management skills or what I would call mentorship. When I talk of mentorship, the idea is that you want these agents to perform in the best possible manner. And because they are entrepreneurs in their own might, they might get astray or they might lose their focus as to what they are supposed to be doing. And in this particular situation, we want to ensure that these agents are able to perform and do better transactions. The idea is also to provide real estate services, and these services could be in terms of how exactly you are providing services to various clients on ground who are doing transactions or who require any kind of real estate broking services. And last but not the least, you're also talking about promotion, wherein you are ensuring that you are promoting the Remax services in the local vicinity so as to ensure that Remax agents who are part of your office get a wider visibility and a better chance of getting access to more inventory or more buyers from the marketplace. What's the typical role of a broker associate? The broker associate is responsible for inspections, be it in terms of inspecting future listings that he wants to have, or probably showing properties to his clients. So be it in terms of being responsible for showing properties, that's one of the primary responsibilities of a broker associate. Similarly, he is responsible for networking in the market, be it with other agents or buyers or sellers or lessors or lessees. Everyone is his customer or the person whom he is probably going to work with. So he is responsible for networking with as many more people as possible and working with these people to ensure that more transactions ultimately get cracked through him. He is responsible also for listing properties. When we talk of listing properties, we are talking of listing them on the public forum, be it public websites like remax.in or global.remax.com or any other websites that maybe we are talking of, and listing them so that the property gets maximum exposure across various forums so that the transaction goes through faster. And last but not the least, help in buying or selling the property. He is responsible for helping the customer actually take forward the transaction and then is actually helping the customer achieve what he wants to do in the shortest time possible. When we talk of the services that Remax office can provide, they can do any kind of real estate broking transactions, be it residential, be it commercial, be it land, redevelopment, facilities management or property management kind of transactions. Every type of real estate broking service can be provided by a Remax agent within a Remax franchise office. In fact, we recommend that you also provide value-added services. And these value-added services could be in terms of legal services or home loans or vastu or interiors, or maybe any kind of consultation advisory services that your client probably requires. And when you provide these services, you are actually creating a pool of inventory or pool of leads that are going to come to you, because you become a one-stop shop for providing any kind of real estate broking services or real estate related services under one common roof. And that's the idea of providing value-added services under the same roof itself. When we look at a comparative study, when we talk of you starting your own real estate broking business, individually when you start your own business, what you have is higher running costs, because you are responsible for setting up an office, you are responsible for setting up the infrastructure, the administration, the miscellaneous costs like electricity, telephone, various expenses that are related to that, the promotional activities that you would be doing, and most important is also your management time. You as an individual would be responsible for doing all these activities in order to ensure that ultimately work gets done. Whereas if you join a Remax office, there is definitely a nominal affiliation fee and a fixed monthly fee, but then you also get training at all levels, you get a brand which is present in the industry, you're talking of having market presence, you're talking of having network, you're talking of having advertising presence in the market because of other agents who are already working in the market, and last but not the least, you have unlimited reach. You have access to all the Remax agents in across 90 countries who would help you do real estate broking transactions, and that's what you want to do on ground. By being able to do more transactions, you are able to earn more brokerage. The Remax business model allows you the independence, or gives you the independence to decide who you would want as part of your team, who you would want as an agent in your office, or the number of brokerage agents you want to have in your franchised office, or the brokerage that you want to charge from them, or the broker associate fee that you want to collect from them, or any kind of tie-ups that you are looking to do at a franchise level, be it in terms of builder tie-ups, corporate tie-ups, or exclusive mandate tie-ups that you want to do at a franchise level within your office. Any kind of exclusivity contracts that you want to enter with builders who are probably your sellers, or corporates who are probably your buyers, everything is possible within the Remax franchise system. So let's try to understand what this entire business model is all about. The Remax business model is about sharing of office expenses. When we talk of sharing of office expenses, we typically see that a real estate broking organization or an individual is running a real estate broking shop, I would call. And the simple cost of running a real estate broking shop would involve rent, would involve maybe administration costs, would involve maybe any kind of miscellaneous costs like telephone and electricity and other stuff. Also the promotion costs. So bare minimum, even if you do everything, there is a certain cost that is required to be running a real estate broking shop or an office. Now what happens? Do you have fixed revenue when we talk of as a real estate broker? Probably not. What happens is you have a couple of transactions a month, maybe you have a couple of months wherein you don't have any transactions, but there is a fixed cost that you are bearing in terms of running a huge office setup. The idea is that if we collaborate amongst ourselves, if we as 15-20 brokers come together under one roof and share the cost of a larger office, share the cost of admin and infra, share the cost of maybe the promotions that we need to do, the overall expense that we need to do would become very, very less. And that makes business sense for every real estate broker. The idea is similar to an Apollo hospital. Wherein we go in an Apollo hospital, the doctors over there are using what you would call the common facilities, which could be an operation theater, which could be a physiotherapy room, or maybe the clinic, or maybe the consultation room, and they are paying a fixed cost for that. Whatever surgery that they perform is taken care of by the hospital, and then the doctor gets remunerated from there. So what we are talking is similar to that, wherein a real estate broking office becomes like a hospital of that area, and all the specialist surgeons, when we talk of surgeons, we are talking of real estate broking agents who are specialists in certain areas, be it residential, commercial, land, lease, and they all become part of one single roof of the franchise office, and they share the cost of running that entire infrastructure, enabling everyone to earn more. Also, the idea of doing this is to have the ability to actually reduce costs and attract more customers. Today, we all go to a specialist or a super specialist hospital because we want all the services or all the facilities under one roof. And similar to that, when a customer looks at getting real estate broking services, he wants to go to a place where he gets all the real estate services under one roof. It's also similar to a central mall model. This central mall, small shopkeepers come together under one single roof and they accumulate or cumulative pay for the rent of the entire place. And because they are paying for the rent of the entire place, they're able to share their costs and ultimately ensure that they are able to take a bigger facility at a reduced cost. And that's again what the Remax model is. The Remax model is also about entrepreneurship at all levels. Why do we like entrepreneurs? Because it is entrepreneurs who are motivated. Entrepreneurs are people who are on ground doing transactions. Entrepreneurs are people who are building relations, and entrepreneurs are the people who work as per their own schedules. When I talk of a real estate broking person, he probably has to show a property 8 in the morning or probably show a property 8 in the night. It's only an entrepreneur who would be ready to do this kind of an hard work. It's not a salaried person who would be getting a fixed monthly remuneration, who would be ready to put in that extra hours to probably make that extra money. Every property is unique, and so relationship building becomes really critical. And when we talk of relationship building is critical, it's only an entrepreneur who has a set of relations, be it in terms of customers, friends, neighbors, relatives. Every person is part of his relationship network. And that's what we are talking of as to how we exactly can bring motivation at the grassroots level to serve customers in the best possible manner. We are talking of low running costs. When we talk of an individual person running a franchise office or an individual person joining a franchise office as a broker associate, the running cost for each of the persons is going to be lesser than what he individually would incur. Say for example, I want to start a real estate broking office with 20 people on a salary basis. If I have 20 people on a salary basis, I'm running a huge salary expense every month and I'm not sure of what the results are going to be. Similarly, when I'm talking of having a broker associate who wants to run a small setup of a real estate office, there is a huge cost that is incurred as a part of the entire thing. So the idea is to reduce the entire salary cost to be able to ensure that you are able to run it at a lower expense and then taking it up accordingly. Furthermore, you have to remember that any organization, people are ultimately cost centered. Only 80%, any organization, 80% of the work is done by 20% of the people. And the remaining 80% people are getting feeded off by the hard work of the other 20%. Now when we look at the 20% who are really working hard, who are really putting in long hours, who are really putting in slogging the day in day out to ensure that the profitability of the organization increases, they are somewhere going back unsatisfied that okay, my organization is not able to reward me enough, and yet there are more people who are feeding out of my hard work. So the same dissatisfaction we do not want to come in at the broker associate level, and ensure that at the broker associate level every person is motivated hard enough, and because he is seeing that okay, any kind of salary, any kind of hard work I put in, that's the amount of money I'm going to take back home. It also gives you an ability to scale up your transactions. An individual can probably do 10 transactions, but when 10 people come together under one single roof, you have probably the ability to do 200 odd transactions, which makes it really powerful because individually it's not growing in a linear curve, it's growing in an exponential curve, because as we have come under one roof, we have more listings, we have more leads, we have more probability of closing transactions or finding matching listings. Individually, I have 5 buyers requirements and 5 seller requirements, but I am not able to close one transaction out of it. But when I have 10 such friends coming together with me Probably I have 50 buyer requirements and 50 seller requirements, and we are able to close 5 transactions out of that, which leads to each of us making more money than sitting individually at the office and not being able to close any transactions. We are also talking of becoming a sustainable real estate broking office. When we talk of sustainability, we are talking of becoming a process-driven organization wherein we are able to track as to what performance each broker associate is bringing on table. We are able to survive the cyclical nature of the industry. When I talk of cyclical nature of the industry, by far real estate is the only industry which goes through cycles, and individuals go through cycles within the real estate industry. And that's what we want to avoid when we run a real estate broking office. We want to avoid the cyclical nature of the industry. By ensuring more people in the office, you are ensuring that your revenues are always taking care of your costs. It also is a situation wherein we are not making it person dependent, and so any time of the year you are ensuring that transactions would get done. Even if your best performing person or you yourself as a broker owner or a franchise owner are moving out for a vacation, still your franchise offices are doing transactions, and you or your associates are doing transactions, and that leads to a situation wherein you are able to take it up and move forward. Also, it creates a goodwill in the market, and as we build goodwill in the market, you are able to ensure that people come back to you for doing real estate transactions. We are also talking of thinking beyond individual transactions. I always ask this question to any person who is thinking of setting up a business or who has already set up a business. If you are running a small business, you should ask yourself this question as to what is your revenue in the absence of you yourself as a person sitting over there. And if you are able to have the same revenue as to, even if you are not present in the office for one full month, then you are probably building a business. Otherwise, what you are doing is you are just doing a job. I take the example of single individual entrepreneurs who are sitting in their office and they are able to practically make 0 rupees in their absence, and that's what you would not want to do. You are looking at building a business wherein you make revenue or make money even in your absence, and that's what this business is all about. You want to build a business that runs even in your absence, and you don't want to just continue doing a job wherein you are not going to office for one full month as a supposedly entrepreneur, yet you are making 0 money. You are in the business for yourself, but you are not in the business by yourself. As in, you are not alone to do real estate broking transactions. Remax India is always there to support you. Remax International is always there to support you. Remax MGM or Remax Pune or Remax Mumbai or Remax Gujarat as we call it, all of them are always there to support you. And there will always be fellow broker offices, fellow broker associates who will be responsible for supporting you to do more transactions. The idea is to ensure that you are able to connect with more and more people to do more transactions, and then accordingly have what you would call more revenue in your hands. You own the business, but the network generates the leads. When I say you own the business, the network is across the country, across the city that you are present in, or across internationally. They all are generating buyer and seller inquiries for you whilst you're sitting in your own place or your own office. And the idea is to generate more and more inquiries. I'll take the example of this particular site, which is Godrej Garden City, which was a project launched in Ahmedabad. My offices in Ahmedabad not only just sold this project, but my offices in Bombay, my offices in Pune also sold this project, giving us a leverage over any other real estate broking office, because we are only the national players or a pan-India player who could promote Godrej Garden City at a national level or at an international level. We are talking of agents requiring lesser monitoring, and because their motivation levels are higher. Now, typically a salaried person who is working in an office requires more monitoring because he is going to get his salary even if he does not do any work. So here we require lesser monitoring because the motivation levels of the person are really high, and that's what we want to build as an organization. We want to build an organization of entrepreneurs who are ready to take up responsibility on themselves and deliver under pressure or deliver and perform under pressure. That's the kind of entrepreneurs we want to build in our organization. Office gets a sharing from every transaction, but it's agents who retain the maximum share of these transactions. So the office goals have a possibility of being achieved. Say for example, an office takes up an entire soul selling project for 50 apartments which are to be sold within a time frame of 6 months. Now when we talk of 50 apartments, it could be only possible if there are 10 agents who are doing real estate within that office, and each of them takes up the responsibility to sell 5 individual units. If it was a reverse situation wherein one person is trying to sell 50 units, probably he'll not get the project in the first place, and second, even if he gets the project, he'll probably not be able to deliver on the project. Let's talk about the value of the brand. Today we are talking of the brand is present, or the signages of this is occupying real estate space across 7,000 offices at an international level. And that's what we are talking about, how exactly this brand can help you build what you are trying to talk in terms of a real estate broking organization. Within India, we are present in about 40 cities, and we have about 130 odd franchised offices doing real estate broking transactions. When we look at the promotion or the expenditure being done on the brand, today we are talking of the broker associate trying to promote his listings. We are talking of broker office trying to get more associates or trying to get more listings and inquiries into his office. We are talking of probably the regional offices trying to get more offices or building the entire network. And similarly, at a national level, Remax India trying to actually promote the Remax brand. Similarly, Remax LLC or Remax International trying to promote it on a global level. When we look at the combined spend of all these organizations put together, it's far higher than any of the competitors. In fact, we believe it's higher than the combination or the total of all the competitors combined. That's the kind of spending on the brand that is taking place on a daily basis in Remax. How do we build a brand? Today when we go in and walk in any kind of a franchise model, or say for example a Subway or a McDonald's, you have accountability of the service being provided. There is some kind of quality assurance that is taking place at that level, and that's what we are trying to bring in within the real estate industry. And we are talking of a service oriented profession that real estate broking industry is. So we are talking of a 5-level model, which we talked of: Remax International, Remax India, Remax Regional, Remax Franchise Office, and Remax Associate. This 5-level hierarchy brings in a lot of accountability, and that accountability is backed by a quality assurance program which tries and ensures that ultimately every client who is entering a Remax franchised office and is being served by a Remax broker associate is able to get a quality service from that office. And that's what we are trying to build through various awards, through recognition to our associates. We are trying to build on what we call quality service being provided to every person. We also look at providing a lot of training to our associates and our office. Remax International has a constant update on the Remax University platform through the globaltraining.remax.com platform, wherein every kind of training, be it at a broker office level or at a broker associate level, every type of training program is provided to them on a continuous basis. Even when we talk in India, we have the Remax Academy of Real Estate in India, which provides training for broker associates as well as offices. And these broker associates are typically being taken care of in terms of sales, marketing, legal aspects, or maybe in terms of technology or understanding of the Remax model. All these training programs are available at any given point of time to any of these associates in various forms, be it in terms of classroom lectures or online webinar programs, or maybe what I would call even on-demand video or on-demand education that can be done at any given point of time through the Remax Academy of Real Estate. Just in India, we have done more than 25,000 hours of training programs for real estate, be it for Remax affiliates or Remax franchise owners or people outside the industry. And that's the kind of power of training that we are trying to change the way real estate is being done in the industry. Some of the courses that we are focusing on ABR is an international accredited course being run by a National Association of Realtors, and similarly we have CRS and CIPS courses also being done through them. And then we have also Indian level courses, be it the CRP, that Certified Real Estate Professional, or various short-term, maybe half-day programs or full-day programs that we are also doing to provide for real estate solutions. In terms of technology, when we look at technology, ultimately we are looking at various levels of reports that you would be requiring in terms of understanding how your office is performing. And when we talk of reports, these reports could be in terms of number of agents, number of listings, number of property viewings that are done, or number of clients that are interested in different properties, negotiations that are taking place on transactions, or last but not the least, you are talking of ultimately the brokerage revenue that is earned. It's a complete CRM ERP kind of solution that's provided to each franchise office, and a CRM solution to be provided to each agent. That's what we are talking of in terms of the power of technology. In fact, the website, the remax.com website or the global.remax.com website has more than 1 million unique visitors visiting the website every single month. And when we talk of this kind of volume, it becomes the world's largest visited real estate franchise website. And that's what we want to actually capitalize on in Indian real estate broking parlance also. And that's what the idea of having a strong technology backing the whole thing up is. When we talk of the agent tools or how an agent can actually perform better using the Remax system, he gets a contact management system. And when we talk of a contact management system, it's a complete system wherein he is able to manage his contacts, create database of as to how exactly they are working, and stay in touch with all of them to be able to ensure that ultimately transactions take place. You're also provided with a property management portal wherein you are able to list as many properties as possible and then accordingly take it up. You're also able to set your agenda, be it in terms of what appointments are there, what property listings are due, or which many renewals or lease contracts are coming up for renewals. All of that can be mapped into your agenda item, and then accordingly you are setting it up. Similarly, you are able to use iMarketing, and when we talk of iMarketing, it ensures that you are able to prepare and build brochures and send it out to different people across your customer segments. You have your referral manager, which connects you to all the real estate persons who are part of the Remax system and who are working within Remax, and then building it up slowly accordingly. And then obviously you have your reports and administration and transaction reporting, which takes place under the common platform and system. The technology is obviously search engine optimized, ensuring that all the listings that you do or any kind of information that you put in on the website, it goes in the best possible manner on the Google platform or any other search engine website. So when we are talking of the information that is getting uploaded, this information not only goes to probably Google, it goes onto the agent website, it goes onto the office website, it goes onto the remax.in, that is India website, and then it goes to the Remax global website also. Apart from that, it also goes onto 15 other different portals like maybe OLX or Quicker or maybe Property Feast or maybe something like realtor.com. And internationally, you are able to ensure that all the listings get maximum exposure across all the different websites through one single backend database. That's your Remax power of the Remax backend service. You also have the Remax Design Center with you, which is part of the Main Street platform, wherein what you are able to do is, it's a powerful way to design your creative content. Any kind of brochures, flyers, promotional materials, visiting cards, anything that you want to design, everything is possible through the Remax Design Center, and through Remax Design Center you are then able to bring out consistent common images for any kind of promotional activities that you want to do. When we talk of the various network that we are talking about, Remax is present in approximately 90 countries. We started from US, that's United States, in 1973, moved on to Canada, then certain parts of Europe, certain parts of South America. In fact, the entire South America is where we are present now. Australia, New Zealand, Africa, South Africa is where we started from. and then now has begun the Asia journey. In the last 3 years, we have not only entered India, but we are now also present in China, Thailand, Dubai, Middle East, or maybe Philippines, and all these places wherein we have a probability of doing referral transactions and being able to actually service clients across various markets. What's the size or what's the power of this network? We are now in almost 88 or 91 countries as per the last record. We have more than 7,000 franchised offices, more than 100,000 agents doing real estate transactions, and practically more than 12 lakh transactions being done through Remax agents on a worldwide basis. And that's the power of the Remax brand today in the market. Today in India, we are present in approximately 23 regions. We are now also present in Chhattisgarh. We are also present in Delhi, Haryana, Himachal, and all the places which are marked in red. We are also present in Assam now. So practically we are covering across India. We have the ability to serve clients, and that's the power of this network that we are bringing on the table today to you to join Remax. The ability of doing different property shows, participating with them on a national level, on an international level, or maybe at a regional, state level or city level. Just as an example, we did the Great India Property Show in Canada, in US, and we have had tremendous response as to how people want to invest back in India and would want to understand how exactly they can do more transactions in Indian real estate, and that's what we want to capitalize on in a slow and steady manner. I want to ask this question to everyone who is probably seeing this video. We want to understand who gains more. Is it the leader, the change maker, the person who fights the market, or is it the person who is actually a spectator in how the market is actually evolving itself? Let's look at a stock market broking scenario in 1992. The entire industry was unregulated, unorganized, and people were facing various problems. Customers were facing problems in doing stock market broking transactions. Today we are talking of 2012, we are talking 20 years down the line. The entire industry has organized itself, there is a regulatory body in place, and it's people who tried to change themselves in 1992 are who are facing or getting the benefits of this entire thing today in the market. Now the idea is that what you are trying to do is practically ensuring that on ground you are creating a change situation in the market, and that change situation will actually give you benefits maybe 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line. But at that stage, you'll be the leader in the market, you'll be the person who has the maximum market share, and that's what you want to actually work on. We have recognition at various levels, be it national level awards, be it regional level awards, or international level awards. Various people who have joined Remax, benefited from Remax, and earned through Remax are people who are actually benefiting the maximum out of this entire system. I have examples over here of maybe people like Vivek Parikh, who was a cricketer by profession and left cricket to actually join Remax and become a real estate broker owner. And today he runs a franchise office of maybe more than 10-15 agents who are doing real estate transactions. We also have maybe Anand Choksi, who was a professional, a person who was working with an LG Electronics or a particular organization in Canada, comes back to India, starts a real estate broking office, and is an office which is having more than 30 plus agents. That's the power of Remax brand. Once you join Remax, you get power to network with the top professionals of the industry, and as we work with the top professionals of the industry, you are actually able to do more transactions on ground also. We also have various conferences and conventions taking place regularly, be it the Remax International Convention, which takes place in Las Vegas almost every year in February, March, or the Remax Realty Rendezvous, that's the Indian annual convention that takes place generally in Delhi. This time in 2013 it's in Goa. So it's an idea or an opportunity to interact with all real estate franchise owners of Remax, probable associates of Remax, and understanding and working with them as to how you can actually do more business in the real estate industry. What's the investment? We are talking of an investment of practically 5 to 10 lakh rupees for a Remax franchise office, or maybe anything between 5 to 20,000 rupees to become a part as an associate with one of the franchise office. So what's this entire associate investment or franchise investment for? It's an investment is for the license to use the brand, it's a license to use the network, the license to use the listing platform or the Main Street platform for the training purposes, attending annual conventions, the Remax University platform, abilities to recruit and retain the best agents of the industry. It's an investment that you are doing in a business that you want to build for the future. And when I say build for the future, today a chartered accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, every service professional is able to sell his practice. And that's what I want each real estate professional to be able to do. Maybe at the time of his retirement, he's able to sell his entire office or sell his entire broking practice to someone, because it is somewhere a fixed revenue earning mechanism that he has built over time. When we talk of return of investment that certain people talk of, when we talk of that, you are driving a Ferrari. And when we drive a Ferrari, you can drive it at 10 kilometers an hour or maybe 200 kilometers an hour. Ultimately, the idea is to be able to do more transactions through that. A Ferrari can probably meet with an accident, but that does not necessarily mean that the Ferrari was bad. The idea is probably you were not fit to run the Remax franchise model in that particular market, in that particular way. The idea, what I'm trying to stress over here is, Remax has built the maximum number of millionaires worldwide. And it's these millionaires who are actually leading the way in their respective markets. Are you the next millionaire is the question that we are asking you whilst we talk of this. When we talk of leads, I always say the network generates the leads. More than 1 lakh agents across the world are the people who are developing or generating leads for you. And the developer council or the corporate council, which is formed of various broker associates and broker owners on a pan-India basis, are the people who are on ground helping build relationships with various people to generate what you would call inquiries or listings for these people. You have to ask this question to yourself, whether you want to get one fish or you want to actually learn fishing. And as a real estate professional, you might get one transaction which is done through us, but if you learn the ability to do transactions, you are building a lifetime transaction flow, and that's what we want to build out of each agent who joins Remax. In terms of advertising that Remax does, we have a national ad fund and a regional ad fund which gets accumulated out of the various fees that are collected, and this national ad fund and regional ad fund is from where we do various forms of advertising. Today probably we are not able to do any kind of TV advertising or mass media campaigns, but as the number of offices keep on increasing, slowly we are able to build an entire channel of what you would call continuous advertising being happening across various markets, be it radio, be it TV or any other national ad campaigns that are possible. Again, when we talk of recruitment, various forms of events act as a way of supporting or creating recruitment support. Various forms of training programs again act as a way of lead generation for what I would call broker associates. There is a BA recruitment and training council that is also there. So the entire idea is we are constantly in the focus as to how we can increase our network. And our network is not just the franchise offices, our network is also all the associates who are joining each individual franchise office, and through which we are able to generate more inquiries and listings. Is it different in the Indian real estate broking industry? When I talk of this particular slide, we talk of credit cards. Probably every person who's probably seeing this video will probably say that when credit cards came in India, we probably said that I'll not use credit cards. It's a bad way of managing your finances. When probably McDonald's came in India, everyone said that using a vada pav or eating a vada pav, why should I eat a vada pav in McDonald's? I would prefer to eat it at the nearby vendor or nearby stall or hawker. Similarly, when we look at internet e-commerce, everyone probably said that I'll not buy online tickets. When we look at situation maybe 10 years down the line, Probably things have changed. Everyone is using credit cards. Everyone is eating in a McDonald's. A McDonald's has more queue than a stall or a hawker. And similarly, e-commerce has picked up like anything. And it's one of the biggest ways in which advertising is happening today. The idea is to build cooperative offices who will be collaborating with each other to do more work together. When we talk of collaboration, what are the possibilities of collaboration? You could be having collaboration in terms of joint recruitment activities, joint branding activities, joint selling activities, or maybe joint buyer representation that you can be doing. The possibilities become endless when we actually think of collaborating with each other rather than competing with each other. And that's the idea of working under the Remax platform. You collaborate with as many more agents as possible. You collaborate with as many more offices as possible to build your career in real estate. Remax is all that you need. It's something like a Swiss knife. When we talk of a Swiss knife, it typically has the ability to solve all the problems and help you survive in whatever situation you might be in. Similarly, Remax has the brand, the training, the technology, the overall business model to scale up, the network, the independence to do the business the way you want. It allows you everything possible to ensure that you are able to scale up the overall way you are doing your business. The Remax philosophy is about having more agents join the system, which ultimately leads to more listings. When I talk of listings, we are talking of more sellers coming into the system, which leads to more sales taking place, and that is practically we are talking of more referrals coming into the system. Referrals means more buyers coming into the system. Buyers bring in more repeat customers ultimately, which brings more brand awareness. When we talk of this entire circle getting completed, more brand awareness means more agents coming into the system. We are ultimately talking of bringing in more profit at an individual associate level or at a franchise level to be able to do more transactions. To join Remax either as a franchise office or as a broker associate, you can always mail us on mgm@remax.in, that's Mumbai Gujarat Maharashtra @remax.in, or you can always call us on our toll-free number, that's 1-800-121-7100, and feel free to get in touch with us if you want to understand anything more about Remax. The time to invest in Remax is now, and that's what all of us together would want you to understand as to how you can benefit and start a real estate broking career and get maximum results out of it. Thank you very much for your time and appreciate your watching this video. Thank you.